Susanne, will you read them directly?
Yes. Okay. Or? Yes, I will just try. The Austrian program seems to focus on installers. Is this a limitation? Does it rely on the existence of ready components? I'll try to answer. You need a pre-qualification, but it's not necessary that you are an installer. So you can also be an architect, for instance. You can also be somebody from like an engineer. So this refers to the pre-qualification. But if you want to pass the certification process, you will have to do reference projects. So you will just do an actual planning and installation of a system, a solar thermal system, a PV system, or a heat pump, or a ventilation system. So this is a condition. So you cannot pass the certification without doing 3 reference projects, which means you rely on existing components, and you also rely on, let's say, the fact that you are allowed to do it in terms of license, which means, for instance, people like me, I'm an expert in the energy field, but I don't have a license to install. I attended, for instance, the PV program, but I just passed the examination and I didn't do the certification because I'm not actually planning systems, but I just did the program to see what they teach, how the requirements are, and because I was just interested in the issue. That's for the first question. Then the second question. Did the HVAC, PV, solar thermal products industry itself support the program in practice? There was, yes. In fact, there was, in setting up the programs, there was a cooperation with the association, especially with the heat pumps. There was a strong cooperation at the beginning, how to start it, how to set it up. I think that's for the second question. Then for the third question, are there arguments to make such certification obligatory? This is a difficult question. Yes, there are some arguments, because what I presented is that actually there is a need for better qualification. Certification is a proof of qualification, especially how it is set up, that you have to present 3 practical projects and they are supervised and they are assessed, and you also have to make sure that you do your recertification every 3 years. So that's a strong aspect of quality assurance. But on the other hand, certification is expensive, and this is always the problematic thing. You have to find a good balance. So there are arguments to make such certifications mandatory, but there are also some arguments against it. Are bigger companies most likely to implement the system? I think you mean, are bigger companies most likely to send their employees to be certified? Not necessarily. There are some innovative smaller companies who do that. So I wouldn't agree. So I think it's, of course, bigger companies have let's say, for bigger companies it's easier in terms of budget, but they are also sometimes a little bit, let's say, yeah. So from I think it's both bigger companies in terms of budget, but smaller companies in terms of being closer to the market and being more innovative. I hope that answers a sufficient answer?
Yeah, that was on the point, I think. That was good. Okay. Susanne, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Very good information. Thank you. So now we go to Cyprus and the experience in Cyprus. Ansi Sharaman-Boos, Director of the Cyprus Energy Agency, will give us a lecture now on the certified training programs for installer towards energy efficient buildings, build up skills project we qualify. Ansi, the floor is open